What's going on, everybody? Liam O'Reilly, Vermont Economic Realtor with Jerry Riley Real Estate. I hope you're doing well. New construction is up significantly month over month. We're going to talk about if this increase in new construction can save us from the inventory crisis that we're experiencing across the country. We're also going to talk about what the implication is for home prices across the U.S. If you're a home seller, that'll be important for you to hear. And then we're going to talk about what Vermont is doing to help increase the amount of homes in the state, which I think are a good thing. So let's get right into it here. Going into our first article, U.S. Homebuilder Construction. U.S. homebuilders ramped up construction in July, beating expectations. So if we look here, U.S. home building increased in July, rising 3.9% from June. So a very significant increase month over month, beating market expectations of 1.448. They just barely beat it. They're also up about 5.9% from July of 2022, so up about 6% from last year, which is a great sign. Now, if we dig a little bit deeper into the article, we'll see that it's not even keeled across the board, right? They're not building as much here in Vermont as they are out west, as we see Midwest and West seeing more building. Buyers embracing new homes the first half of the year as a welcome alternative to the massive shortage of existing homes. We've talked about this a lot. The lock-in effect is keeping people in their homes, which is keeping existing inventory low. And so these builders are taking advantage of it. But as we can see from the headlines here, the Midwest and West are building more than the East Coast, right? Out in states like Kansas or Texas, there's a lot more open space, open fields. Building restrictions are a little bit easier, more laid back than they are in places like Vermont, for example, where people can put up, in those states like Kansas and Texas, they can put up neighborhoods a lot easier than they can here. And that's what we're seeing is we're seeing new construction being built more in the Midwest and the West compared to compared to the East Coast, compared to New England in particular, where I'm located. So if we scroll down a little bit, I just wanted to highlight as well with the home builder sentiment, because I think this is a good indication of how home builders are feeling about the market. So it had been rising over the past year, but it dipped down in August, if we read this highlighted section here. So it dropped for the first time this year in August, according to a separate report. Several things are combining to pull builder sentiment down, including higher mortgage rates and higher construction costs, right? So mortgage rates being at over 7%. If we take a look at NFQ here in Vermont, their 7.25% is about the best rate that you're going to get here in Vermont. So that doesn't make builders feel very confident that when they bring their new construction to the market, that they're going to be able to get the price that they're advertising for it. So although construction ticked up month over month and year over year, builders aren't feeling as confident as they were in July about bringing new homes to the market, that the buyers that are going to be there to purchase these homes because of these higher interest rates, and that they're going to have the margin to sell the home at a profit because of the higher construction costs and the higher cost of labor. So, although building has picked up, we're also seeing, some downward pressure on home builders because of these higher rates and these higher construction costs. So if we take a look at what has happened in the past and the home builders, homes being built leading up to today, we go over to this Fred chart, new privately owned housing unit starts, total units. And this is, I believe this is the chart of units under 5 units. So multifamily duplexes, to single family homes, to condos, things like that. These are the total starts. So if we look at the increase in overall construction that we had leading up to the '08 crash, we can see that people were building like crazy. Building sentiment was high. Tons of new construction was coming to the market. And now in the aftermath of the great financial crisis from 2010 to basically where we are today, we haven't seen nearly as much building as we did over the past, 15 years leading up to the great financial crisis as we've seen in the 15 years exiting it. And now, we're still well below the new starts, where new starts were leading up to 2005. So, are these new builds going to bring us out of the inventory crisis that we're in right now? I think we will need to see new construction continue to increase from where it is, and we'll need to see more affordable new construction coming to the market. If we take a look at Vermont here, I just went on to Zillow, search for new construction homes. Most of these are new construction homes. Some of them are active inventory that's on the market that were built in like 2022. But a lot of these homes are brand new construction, like this one on Elm Street in South Burlington. This one on Longview in Essex, you can see 950,000. Strawberry Way in Colchester, 579,000. So a lot of the new construction coming to the market, 675,000. Farmway in South Burlington, are these higher end projects, which aren't nearly as affordable. And if people are staying into the current properties that they're living in because of the lock-in effect, right? They're not selling their home and moving up to this more expensive product. Then this more expensive new construction that's coming to the market is going to be less effective at bringing overall inventory to the market, right? Because if there's less people that are going to sell their existing home to move up into this nicer home, then although there's an increase in overall homes on the market, I think it's really just the new construction is passing hands between the well-qualified buyers as opposed to allowing home buyers to move up into this new construction, into this nicer home product. Now, one other thing I'll note is if we look over here at Wilson End Place, the unit down in Essex, 389,000, you can see new construction, 2-bedroom, 2-bath condos for what I would consider is a affordable price. It's under the median sales price here in Chittenden County. And, we actually happen to be representing the builder on these properties. And I personally think they're a great product when they're all said and done and they're all finished. So, there are builders out there who are bringing a more affordable product to the market. But the vast majority of new construction coming to the market is in the 500,000 plus range, or a lot of it's in the 700,000 plus range, especially when you're in towns like Shelburne and South Burlington here around the Vermont area. So that's just something to keep in mind, and that's part of the reason why builder sentiment is low, is because these homes that are coming to the market are more expensive to build with the higher cost of building, and then with the higher interest rates, there's less certainty that the end buyer will be there to purchase the property on the backside. So, if we're going to see mass building, I think we need to see, more affordable housing that's going to really bring relief to the average home buyer out there. That's really going to help the overall housing market. But with the uncertainty with interest rates and the tight margins, as well as some of the zoning restrictions, not only here in Vermont, but in many other countries or many other cities across the country, it's tougher to get these denser neighborhoods permitted, as well as a little bit uncertain because the margins are a little bit tighter with the higher building costs. But if we take a look at what's going on in the overall housing market, we switch back over to the browser here. Change in U.S. home sales. I think this is really interesting. These are the difference in year-over-year sale price or number of units sold. The top is new construction. The bottom is existing. So if we look at it, existing home sales down 17% year over year. So significantly down year over year. New home sales up 32% year over year. Of course, new home starts are up. So builders are building more, but they're not building 32% more. They're just, builders operate more like a business than existing homeowners do, right? For a variety of reasons. One, obviously, a lot of homeowners aren't bringing their homes to the market because of the lock-in effect. But two, it's more of an emotional sale. When they have their existing home that's on the market, it is, they're using comparable sales to try to figure out what is my home worth. They are, emotionally attached to their home, right? If you own a home, you're emotionally attached to the value of that home because you see it as your piggy bank. It is your equity, and you don't want to give up any more than you have to. Where home builders out there, they are churning, a lot of these builders are building multiple products at a time, and it's more of a business for them. So if they hold on to that property, they're losing money every month. And at a certain point, they have to cut down their margins. They have to take less money because it's just good business for them as home builders. So I think because of that, they're having a little bit more flexibility, especially in some of these Western states, and are selling more homes than a lot of the existing inventory out there. Of course, existing inventory is way down as well. So there's not many existing homes for buyers to choose from, which pushes them again towards new construction. So how is this going to affect the overall housing market? How is this going to affect home prices? I don't think until we see home building really spike, I don't think we're going to see it affect the overall inventory in the market. Builder sentiment is kind of starting to taper off. It seems like that has peaked, and so we might. I mean, ideally, we see this increased amount of homes being built for a consistent period of time, so we have more inventory coming to the market. But really, what would be helpful is overall more affordable homes, and I think that would have more of an impact on home prices than what we're seeing with new construction, at least around the Vermont area. Now, I'm not as familiar with other markets across the country, so if there's more affordable homes being built, then that could change things. But we're not seeing a glut of new construction homes come into the market really below that median sales price, at least here around Chittenden County. But some of the changes that we're talking about, or that are in the works around Vermont, are homes for all, a design toolkit for small scale home builders, investors, and community leaders. So this is a change that is being pushed here in Vermont. They're trying to get some of the zoning laws changed, as it says right here. Vermont cities and towns are working to update their zoning and legalize these homes, which are essentially tighter neighborhoods, multifamily properties, and smaller single-family homes, mixed residential and commercial use like shops and restaurants. These tighter, more personable communities that are cheaper to build and more affordable for the average home buyer to get into. That's the push around here in Vermont. Now, that push started in 2020, and we haven't really seen many of those changes be implemented, at least not in a significant way. But they're rolling out these projects and these blueprints for small home builders, and I'm hopeful that in the future that will result in some smaller, more affordable communities and more relaxed zoning restrictions that allow builders to bring more affordable homes to the market and these more affordable projects. So overall, I think that home builders and new construction can solve the affordability crisis, that we need more homes, and zoning changes are starting to happen, at least here in Vermont. I'm sure they're starting to take place in other places as well. I know I covered Oregon earlier this year with their zoning change in regards to multifamily property, bringing more inventory to the market. So, we really need more inventory. It's kind of a mixed bag in the market. I don't think we've seen enough building to cause home prices to crash, at least not from that building front. Inventory, it doesn't seem like is spiking with new inventory. Again, every market is different. There's no national housing market, so your market is probably significantly different if you're not in Vermont. I'm really speaking on personal experience when I say that new construction inventory isn't building drastically. At least I'm not seeing it. So anyway, Liam O'Reilly, Vermont Economic Realtor. If you have any real estate needs, I would be happy to help you, whether it's here in Vermont or in another state. I'll be happy to help you find you a good realtor who can help you find or buy or sell your home in another state, or I would be happy to assist you if you're looking here in Vermont. Other than that, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think I'm way off? Do you think I'm way on about this new construction? I always love hearing from you folks. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.